Good evening, Vineland High School football fans, and welcome to historic Gittone Stadium as we get set for Thursday night football on VPS. Week 0 action here for your Fighting Clan as they play host to the visiting Delsea Crusaders. Kyle Bennett up here in the booth with you, and joining me this year is my good friend, and joining us all season long, the ever so great Marcelino Ojeda up in the booth doing some color commentary this year here on VPS for football season. Marcelino, it's great to be back in the booth with you. We have a fun season on deck as we get set to kick off here. Vineland will receive, and we'll get into the game within the game and so much more with this varsity football squad as Delsea prepares to kick off. A beautiful late August night here at Gittone Stadium. And ladies and gentlemen, we are underway for the 2025 varsity football season. As that ball is loose and Delsea dives on top of it as it was touched by a Vineland player. And Delsea will start their season in the red zone off the rip. Not an ideal start for the Fighting Clan.
Unfortunately for the special teams, they gotta realize that ball's always live. You don't have to touch the ball on kickoff. It's always live down the field. And even in the beginning of the game, you saw it from the Delsea kickers. They weren't kicking it far. They weren't looking to get it downfield. They were pooching it. And I'm surprised Vineland wasn't a little more expecting of it. But at the same time, they got to be able to communicate in that backfield. I had all my offensive notes ready, but it looks like we're going defense first here to start the season.
We are going defense, a defense that lost a lot of key players to graduation. So a much younger squad on defense as Delsea readies. QB under center, they hand it off, and Vineland sniffs that one out with ease. As a whole pile of Fighting Clan defenders there to make the stop, and it'll be second down.
A lot of Delsea fans who have watched Delsea over the years are beyond ecstatic to see the wing T back in formation, back into the playbook of Volpe. A great coach on the other side of the field, former coach here at Vineland High School, former coach of mine when I was here. I know it's a little mental game and a lot of fun between Goose and Volpe, but Volpe finally kind of bit down and said, you know, we're going to go wing T. We're going to go back to what we're known for, and you're going to see it a lot often here in this first half.
2nd and 7 here for the Crusaders as they hand this one off again, and Vineland all over. Another nice stop there to prevent any big gains. Obviously, Cliff Smith, the returning defensive coordinator for Vineland, along with Ryan Shelton. Those two, as Coach Guzman likes to refer to them as Batman and Robin together. Their minds together are one of the biggest and brightest duos in South Jersey high school football. As Cliff Smith, obviously, with his NFL experience, Ryan Shelton has, as we were talking pregame, essentially devoted his entire life to the game of football. Those two know how to call a defensive game, and we're seeing it right here as a big 3rd and 9 upcoming. So that last run, a loss of 2 for Delsea.
Vineland really having to buckle down here. It's 3rd and long. You're not expecting pass out of a wing T, but don't be shocked as the ball goes on the ground. And it's going to be picked up going to the left side, and that is going to be a freak touchdown for Delsea to start the game against the Fighting Clans.
Good awareness there with a loose ball, and just that's what Coach Volpe gets it done. He tells you got to keep your eye on the football, and that is exactly what Delsea just did there as they walk into the end zone for their first touchdown of the season. I believe that was number 2, Emer Chester, the sophomore running back, who takes it in for 6.
And if you're Vineland, you got him exactly where you want him on that 3rd and long. Again, freak situation, ball hits the ground, but no Vineland defenders there to be able to pick it up. Delsea picks it up and goes. This kick is up and is good, and it'll be 7-0 Delsea with 10:26 to go here in this first quarter.
So we'll do the kickoff again as the game within the game now has a wrinkle, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast. Obviously, Coach Volpe, now the head coach at Delsea, his first season with the Crusaders last year, comes in to a very familiar stadium, a very familiar team across the sideline for him with our hometown Fighting Clan, and his relationship with Coach Guzman is second to none. I talked to Coach Goose about that on Guzman's Gridiron this week, which you can catch every single week during the season on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network and on our YouTube channel. they just have such a dynamic relationship, and it's a very cat and mouse type of game that we're going to see here from a coaching perspective, because both of them know their tendencies so well, and they just know each other as people so well that it's almost like each one of them has a miniature version inside the other one's brains.
And I think it's just hilarious. We showed Volpe on the screen as we get ready for kickoff. Just absolutely livid. Scored 7 points, but obviously not the way you want, as it's going to be kicked off once again to that same exact spot at Vineland's 20. It's going to take a bounce. It's going to hit a Vineland player, and he's going to go to his left as Zyleek Travis makes a move on one man, gets about a gain of 3, and Vineland will start what Delsea did on the last possession here inside their own 20-yard line.
There's a flag down here at about the 39.5-yard line.
Usually when it's there, you expect an offsides on the kicking team, so that might help Vineland get out of their own borderline end zone here.
And it is against Delsea.
Vineland getting a solid break to start this drive. I will expect to be a 1st and 5 here at Vineland's 25.
Vineland coming into this season off of a 5-5 year last year under Coach Guzman. This is his 3rd season now at the helm for the Fighting Clan.
Vineland has elected to re-kick. Smart decision in my opinion. Get the ball closer and move those deep backs up a little bit. He's not kicking it far, and I don't expect him to kick it far anytime soon. So get those guys up a little bit, get them in a comfortable spot. I mean, you have Travis back deep, as well as the backup running back, George Figueroa. Those guys, you put the ball in their hand, they're going to be dangerous. And it'll be Coach Shelton and Coach Henry Garton setting them up here as Delsea gets ready to re-kick. 10:20 to go here in this first quarter. Vineland man, a 5-4-2 here on the return as Delsea kicks off with a bunch formation. Vineland slowly inching forward. It'll be a kickoff from the 35-yard line off the foot of the Crusaders, and once again, it's going to be a pooch right into the middle of the field. Bobbled once again. Vineland picks it up, and they're going to lose a couple yards there on the return, but way better field position than they were set up beforehand, and it'll be at the 35 of Vineland to start the drive.
So yes, they lost yards there, but they essentially gained 15 yards on the re-kick. So now we'll get to see this Vineland offense that is very young. They kind of came into their own as the season progressed last year, and that was a big part of the development and growth of now sophomore quarterback Elijah Calderon, who we were watching him throw the ball pregame, Marcelino. His arm is unbelievable for his age. Just turned 15 years old in April. Man in motion for Vineland as Calderon takes the snap out of the shotgun, surveys the field. He's throwing it deep. And a dangerous throw in near triple coverage.
Calderon looks to have expected Mater to be further downfield, but 2 safeties there as a corner converged on what looked like a cover 3. Calderon, like we said, he has the accuracy, he has the arm. It's about poise now. At that quarterback position, you got to be poised, you got to be comfortable, and that's a big ask for a sophomore who's, like you said, 15 years old. But I believe we're going to see him step up majorly this season, especially with the receivers and the core he has and a decent offensive line.
And talking to Coach Guzman this week, I asked him about the development of Elijah this year and taking that next step as a sophomore as we line up 2nd and 10 from the 36, Calderon in shotgun. Readies, he takes the snap, hands it off, and Delsea is all over that run play. And, a lot of the core defensive seniors that we had last year that were playing in that secondary were also Elijah's receivers on offense for his freshman season. And while we lose a lot of height from the Mark Mutchersons, the Xavion Diaz, the Mason Afanadors, that was something that definitely helped Elijah last year, where those guys could go up, pinpoint a ball at the highest apex, and come down with some passes that ordinarily you wouldn't see typical high school receivers be able to come down with. This year, you have a lot of 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, maybe being the tallest wide receiver on the roster. So it's going to be a lot of that accuracy that Calderon has displayed that he's going to have to utilize to move the ball down the field. So we have a man in motion, Calderon, surveying, has to get rid of it. He's hit from behind, ball's loose, and they rule it incomplete as they should. Got hit from the blind side there. Not talking Sandra Bullock. and that'll be 4th and 11, and Vineland will punt.
That's a tough start for Vineland, too. You're expecting your offensive line to hold up a little bit. Vineland starting off the game passing, which I love the idea of open it up, make the Crusaders stay on their feet as much as possible. But both of these teams are known for their run game. It's going to be who establishes the run first, who can kind of get both sides of the game here going for offense. Slow start here for Vineland. Delsea started off slow as well, but just better field position as Vineland prepares to punt off here to the Crusaders. Back deep for the punt is going to be Brent Brosh, number 25. That's going to be a low snap bounce. It's going to be blocked by Delsea up in the air, pulled in, and a tackle here. And once again, Delsea is going to start inside of Vineland's 20. This go around at the 14-yard line. Red zone offense getting ready to go here for the Crusaders.
This has been a less than ideal start, to put it lightly, for the Vineland High School special teams to start this football game, to start this season, quite frankly. And, you know, when you're in a week 0 matchup, you're going to have some rough spots for sure. You're still working out a lot of the kinks. You're not in your full back-to-school routine yet. School doesn't start until next week for these guys. So you're still kind of in that summer mode, but you got to lock in here and realize, like, this is how you set the tone for your season. You know, the game plan that you lay out in week 0 can carry for weeks on end as Delsea. That'll be illegal motion or penalty on Vineland, actually.
Trying to see what the call is here for that, because I didn't see anybody on the defensive front move.
Just saw 2 guys moving, and I was like, I didn't know that was allowed.
Yeah, I was going to say, 2 guys coming across the field. I mean, it's not an issue as long as they go at the same time and line up on the opposite end of the field. But possible Vineland jump there. As once again, we see that wing T offense here from Delsea, as once again, that double man motion to the left side. Vineland shifting that way. It's going to be a handoff. Looks like it's going to stay with the quarterback, and he's going to run right through Vineland's defense. He didn't even fake the handoff. Everybody went to the side of that shift, and he ran right to the weak side of Vineland's defense and finds the end zone virtually untouched.
That is Milo Gebhard, who's listed as a running back on Delsea's roster.
The confusing thing was watching pregame, it almost looked like they had a running back at quarterback. It almost was like a wildcat wing T. Obviously, they have 3 guys they believe can run the ball comfortably, and that's what Coach Volpe's trying to take advantage of, and he's done it so far. As this kick is up, this kick is good, and with very minimal time off the clock, 9:02 to go in this first quarter, Vineland's down in a hole, 14-0.
Yeah, this is, I would say, if we could tap into Coach Guzman right now, he would probably be less than pleased with.
Probably have to turn his mic off.
The way things have gone. Well, luckily we're on YouTube, so
demonetized.
Quite frankly, we could, but I don't think the Vineland Public Broadcasting would fancy that too much. But nonetheless, like, this is not a great start, and I think Coach Guzman would tell you that. I think every coach would tell you that. I think the players would tell you that, and you can't let a game like this spiral now. You have to be methodical on this next offensive drive here if you're Vineland and just move the ball down the field. Be smart with the football. Not take too many chances, obviously, but you want to be smart with the chances you do take. That way this game doesn't wind up being 21, 28, even 35-0 by the end of the first quarter.
And it's all been field position. It's been a field position game from the get-go. It's been special teams mistakes that they just have to get right on the ship, as it's going to be kicked off, pooched once again, a high hop.
Good
as
hands.
Vineland's going to go the opposite way, right through all Vineland blockers. Going to be a number 31 for the Crusaders. Still great field position nonetheless for Vineland, working towards close to the 40 here, going the other way. But once again, they have to I want to see them run the ball. I want to see how they can comfortably run the ball, and it comes down to that front 5 here for Vineland.
And special teams last year for Vineland was such a strength, where you had Xavier Diaz back there. Obviously, he's graduated now, and that's unfortunate for this team specifically, but we wish Xavier nothing but the best in his future endeavors. But it was such a threat back there for the return game, and more often than not, Vineland was starting with half the field to go. They were starting at the 50-yard line, the 45 of the opponent. And we have a flag here as well.
Too many men coming out of the huddle there. Once again, miscommunications for Vineland coming to cost them. That's going to back them up 5. Already good field position. I mean, just because the returns haven't been big, it's been good field position. But once again, Vineland shooting themselves in the foot and putting them in a rough 1st and 15, and they're just trying to get their offense in tempo.
You know, some coaching shuffling too. Coach Hendricks has moved on to the track and field and cross-country teams. We wish him nothing but the best, obviously. He's still obviously at the school, but some new pieces on this coaching staff, which we'll get to, as Calderon swings it. Nice breakaway there on the tackle, but Delsea able to gobble it up. That's the type of play that's like the right idea, just couldn't fully execute it.
Yeah, and it looked like Delsea kind of snuffed it out. They went big on that side with the 4 receivers. It was a good screen pass. They lost 2 yards on the play, but you just want to see how Vineland's going to incorporate their speed guys. There's Zyleek Travis's, their Ben Motters, their Alvarados. Like, they have the skill and capability to get them going, but I think Vineland's bread and butter in this game is going to be running the football, and they have to get comfortable running the football, or else this is going to be a very long game with the clock stopping on every incompletion and things of that nature and giving Delsea good field position.
And a whistle.
It'll be a false start on Vineland, back them up another 5, and the nightmare start to this game continues for the Fighting Clan.
And it's those little things that add up. You know, as a former player, you know, if you start off a game like this and, you know, you're frustrated, obviously, and you're trying to almost overcompensate for the slow start and allowing your opponent to put up 2 early touchdowns on you, you kind of lose focus sometimes because you're trying to do so much to kind of get back to the mean of where you thought the game was going to be, and then things start to spiral. It's 2nd and 21 now for Calderon. Fires incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver, George Figueroa III.
Vineland, they just have to catch their groove. It seems like there's a lot of miscommunications. That may have been designed this way, but every lineman was on the opposite side of the field there, trying to get it out to Figueroa in the open field, but there were 2 guys converged. Again, I'm not sure what's in the mind or what the play calling is, but I know that Vineland shooting themselves in the foot, and especially as an offensive player, you're trying to get some kind of yardage, and losing yardage after yardage on mistakes and penalties, it's going to kill your morale. It's going to kill your momentum that you're trying to even build down 14-0 and possibly, again, 3rd and long situation, giving a good field position to the Crusaders.
As it's 3rd and 21. Calderon scrambling, using his legs here. He's got to get rid of it. Fires to the sideline, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down. And like we were mentioning, Coach Hendricks no longer the offensive coordinator this year. Coach Ray Fitton, who was last year's QB coach, assuming co-offensive coordinator roles with Ryan Shelton. So it's some new voices there as well with a young offense. It's going to take some time. Like this, I don't think is obviously the expected start for Vineland, but you knew some things were going to take time when the lights came on and real game action came to be, because you don't have full-blown experience at the varsity level as a unit yet, along with 2 new coaches running the offense and new terminology.
And in high school, as that punt just barely gets off, fair catch called for. But you're going to see as the season goes on, it's a high school staple, is that shift in offensive line, or the shifts in positions. You're going to see who can kind of show up more in the game compared to practice, and you'll see who kind of develops and who kind of gets stagnant as the season goes on. I think right now Vineland's going with that, what I call the first set of offensive linemen, which I promise you will see some kind of shift in different spots. You're finding strengths and weaknesses as the weeks go on, but the offensive line so far has been pretty rough. Calderon hasn't had much time. The run game, there weren't much yardage there. You're going to see them continue to build off of each other. But you're also going to see how the coaches build off of their strengths and weaknesses as the season goes on for the offense.
1st and 10 for Delsea here as this one's handed off. And Vineland is all over that one. A great stop by the Vineland defense.
A name you're going to hear all season, Aiden Barrientos, the linebacker. He's going to fly right through, and he was a pleasure to coach when he was on the JV level. He's shown an IQ for the ball. He's going to be somebody who's a physical back. He's going to get up and down the field. His weaknesses that I believe he's built on and he's gotten stronger with from that JV level is his coverage, his ability to catch interceptions. He's going to be the staple of the run stop here, especially against a wing T. You're going to see him making most of the tackles tonight.
2nd and 15 now.
Barrientos trying to communicate.
And a nice hole there for Delsea.
Before the play, you can see Barrientos telling the entire D front, hey, the ball's coming this way. We need you guys to crash down. And again, smart player. He tells you exactly where the ball is going, and that's exactly what happened.
Chester picks up the first down on 2nd and long with that run.
This is where the game is always won. It's such a stale comment to make, but it's the truth. It's the game's won in the trenches, and so far Delsea's had a field day in the trenches on offense and defense.
And it's been at the key moments, too. Like we saw, Vineland was able to get it to 3rd down and long, and Delsea breaks through. 2nd and 15, they break through. It's 1st and 10 here. We'll see, and Vineland all over it.
That play absolutely blown up. That might have been more on Delsea not being able to get that handed off, but a huge break in the front there from the D-line, and that's going to force a loss of what looks to be almost 4 to 5 yards.
And this is where you want to see the defense repeat that. It's now 2nd and long again. You just gave up a 1st down yardage on 2nd and 15. You need to repeat that process now for the next 2 downs. Get the ball back and get a little momentum going for both sides of the ball. Your offense hasn't been able to really formulate anything. You're putting your defense out play after play after play. They're going to get tired. You need the defense to come up big here so that you can give your offense an opportunity to be out there for a longer amount of time. As this one, they fake the handoff, pass is thrown, and it's complete for a 1st down past the 30-yard line.
That's the name we've been told by coaches on each side. It's Luke Van Alten. He's their big tight end who's playing D-line as well, who Delsea in critical situations has even said they're going to go to, who they are going to look for as the game goes on. Obviously, they're 2nd and long. Their big target, who was left virtually wide open, gets their 1st down, and just like that, they're slowly creeping into Vineland red zone territory.
Luke Van Alken, senior tight end, defensive end, 6'7", 259 pounds.
It's a big dude. That's a big dude.
That's a big man.
That's a target that you can't miss. If you're running back, quarterback, whatever the situation is in that backfield, can't miss that.
As Vineland gets another solid stop there as we are approaching the 5-minute mark here in the 1st quarter.
A lot of hands on hips for Vineland, and I don't blame them. I can't blame their defense for that. They've been on the field virtually for the entirety of this 1st quarter, and this 1st quarter feels like an eternity, I'm sure, for them.
Yeah, it was a fast start for Delsea with those points, and now things have really slowed down. And it's 2nd and 6 years. Delsea picked up 4 on that last run. This one's handed off again. That's Chester. And a good stop there for Vineland. Got to get another one, though, as this is now 3rd down. A big 3rd down already in this game here.
And it's 3rd and short. I mean, once again, you're going to see that wing T offense. It's the bread and butter of the Crusader offense for the last 1,000 years, if I'm sure I could be correct. But you know what to expect here. You got to kind of bite down on that mouthpiece, buckle the chin strap. You know they're going to try and come downhill. You got to try and fight it.
3rd and 4.
Not one of those you have to stop here, but, man, you would really love a stop here if you're Vaughn's defense.
Ball snapped. They fake the handoff. They're throwing, looking end zone, and Luke Van Alken stumbles his way in for the score. And Vineland trailed 20-0 here in the 1st quarter.
Once again, I mean, it's
That's
almost,
a big
you
boy.
almost expect seeing the 6-7 target on 3rd and short. You're going to open up the pass game. I mean, like I said, you got to buckle down and kind of see what they're trying to throw at you. Delsea's trying to be as forthcoming as possible with their formations. Like we're telling you what we're going to do. When we pass the ball, we're going to roll out. When we run the ball, it's going to be in between the guards and the tackles. But Vineland yet to have an answer for that wing T, and down 20-0 very early on. As a flag was thrown here.
A lot of flags early in this game too. That's been a big note for me. Is not only has it felt like an eternity of a 1st quarter because of the early scores and now a score here, there's been so many momentum stalling penalties that have really dragged this quarter out.
Penalties and mistakes will kill you as a team. And that one declined, but this kick is up, and this kick is good. And the Crusaders with 4:02 to go here in this 1st quarter with a commanding 21-0 lead, as they are the 22nd ranked team in New Jersey.
Yeah, they're looking to bounce back from last year. Obviously, Volpe coming in as a new coach after the long successful reign of Salvatore Marquez. and a state title, obviously, in 2023. There was obviously going to be some bumps in the road with a brand new
transition.
staff.
Always is like that. Wherever you go, anytime you get a transition in staff and coaching, it's a culture that, yes, it's what it's been for however long, but new coaches bring new culture no matter what you change and don't change. And Crusaders keeping that head down, run it down your throat, and run a couple waggles, and they're going to kill you by way of ground game.
As Delsea gets set to kick this one off as they lead 21-0 with 4:04 to go here in this first frame. They send this one deep for the first time in a long time, and smart move there by Vineland as they let that one go out of bounds, and that will set up shop with arguably the best field position Vineland has had for starting field position all game. I was noticing that when they were kicking it deep early, that it was going towards the sideline a lot, and in my brain I'm just like, boys, let that roll out of bounds.
Or
don't touch it, because they can't touch it until you touch it.
Yeah, how many high IQ football NFL moments have we watched growing up where the guy sticks his toe on the sideline and grabs the ball and it's forced out of bounds? I mean,
and then I noticed the success from the squib kicks here. I was like, is that going to be the route they go?
Yeah, I'm not sure why kick it deep now. You've seen the squib and the onside kind of working, but I guess
you've been able to kind of swarm to that too, because you're kicking it to not your fastest guys on the return team. As Calderon, hard count, takes the snap here, hands it off to George Figueroa III, who I do have to say I appreciate him being GF3, and he wears number 3. That's just great broadcaster optics. So Georgie, thank you for that.
Every time I see 3, I think of Barry Turner, BT3.
Yes,
yeah, that's
BT3,
whenever
man.
I see the number 3, that's a shout out to my guy Barry Turner.
Shout
Love
out to
that
Barry
dude.
Turner.
But every time I see 3, you always think BT3.
And Vineland picks up 1 on that run by George Figueroa III. So it'll be 2nd and 9 here from the 36. Calderon in shotgun. Takes the snap, looking to pass. Delsea coming. And a beautiful connection. And going all the way into the red zone. Zyleek Travis.
You can't say enough how poised this young man is at quarterback. An absolute beauty. Zyleek didn't even have his head up yet, and the ball was halfway downfield. Zyleek the Freak Travis making a great play already. And just a little bit of momentum here for Vineland. Now inside their 10-yard line. Now it's time to see what they can cook up in this short-range territory.
Best field position for Vineland on the day, and Calderon completed that pass as he was getting hit.
It was beautiful.
He rolls out, going to throw on the run potentially. Throws and through the hands of the Delsea defender.
Trying to get too much there. I think that's one of those ones where you kind of want to see him just take off. I think
he could have kept that there. He had plenty of space to pick up probably like 4 or 5 yards there. I definitely would. And that's something Coach Guzman and I talked about as well. Calderon has the ability to run the ball. He doesn't necessarily have to do it, but when he can, he should.
You could tell he prefers to pass, which he's a quarterback. You love that. How many times have we seen quarterbacks who prefer to run and have receivers open all the time? So it's good that he's keeping his head up and looking downfield, but sometimes you just want to pop your head down and just try and get those yardage, especially in close territory, and don't make a mistake that could have given the ball right back to the Crusaders.
And it's one of those things that it's like he's not incapable of running. So if you have the opportunity to do it, just put your head down and pick up those gritty yards there. As Calderon will have a flag fly in for a false start.
Backbreaker. I don't want to say backbreaker because I feel like that's a little too much.
It's like a stub toe.
It's like, man, you just got there. You just got there.
It's like hitting your toe on the door.
It's like, it's not the worst in the world, but man, is it inconvenient.
It's like getting hit in the ankle with a Razor scooter.
It's so inconvenient.
It
not
hurts.
The end of the world.
This is not ideal. Like the pain will subside, but
it's not what you want right now.
It's not a broken back.
But we're going 2 receiver sets on both sides. Figure on the backfield with Calderon.
Man in motion here is Calderon looking to pass, firing to the end zone, and it's incomplete.
Not sure what the miscommunication there was between quarterback and receiver. It looked like Calderon was kind of looking for that fade, almost a streak, instead of having his receiver kind of cut into the middle of the field. Nonetheless, it's going to be third down and a long 14 here.
Little note, too, for the people that may just be tuning in, Elijah Calderon has changed his number from 11 to 7.
And I believe we'll see 11 again this season. I think 7 is kind of with the uniform situation,
Yes.
but I believe we will see
For
11
tonight's
again
game,
this
at
season.
least, he is number 7. Just for any confusion there.
I like Vineland having a tight end here to help out the offensive line.
Yep. As Calderon takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out. Good blocking there. Calderon going to take it himself as he's tossed out of bounds.
You know, I'm not much of an analytics guy or statistics guy, but you know how on like Sunday Night Football they say, do you go or no? Boy, I know I'm a sucker for it, but I would love to go here. But it looks like we're going to go field goal unit here for the Fighting Clan.
Which has been a strong suit for the better part of a decade. And now a new era of field goal kicking in here the past couple of seasons. And we'll see if Coach Garton and Coach Shelton can reap the rewards here. Ball spotted, kick is up, and it's low and blocked and picked up by Chester, who's making his way.
Oh, my goodness. Do you see him hawking him down? My goodness. Like, I'm not going to celebrate an awful play there because that's awful field position, but my goodness, saving a touchdown from almost 60 yards. Oh, my goodness.
That is
DK Metcalf-esque.
speed, intense. Yes, that is DK Metcalf, Buda Baker, reimagined.
Wow. I mean, the special teams woes here in this first quarter have just been
They've been backbreaking.
Yeah, it's been brutal. You finally get a good position, and somehow the offense of Delsea ends up inside the red zone of Vineland again. This is just brutal for the defense here. I mean, you saved the touchdown. That's great and all, but, you know, it's kind of time to buckle down on the special teams miscues. If I had to guess, I'm expecting a wing T formation.
Maybe we'll go thigh T, some leg T.
It'll be
Change
wing
it up.
T once again with an extra man to the left. That's where they're going to hand the ball off. Great blocking up front. And it's just going to be downhill running for Delsea. That's going to be a gain of about 5 for the Crusaders on first down.
Do you think Coach Volpe has the wing T set up as drums and flats?
To be honest with you, I don't think Volpe even likes the wing T. I don't want to be the guy to kind of say. I just feel like Coach Volpe is just like such an air raid, like open the offense guy. Like I feel like low key every time he runs this offense, like man, this goes against everything I love.
He's like putting himself in a straitjacket.
Yeah, he's like, but if you know it works. I mean, you can't say no to results.
If it ain't broke, don't fix
But I know
it.
inside he's like, man, I would love to open it up. But success with the wing T has been eminent here in this first quarter. As once again, it's going to be the lineup here for the Crusaders. That's going to be a false start
Yes, it is.
all the way. 2 men moving in the backfield. And
As
that'll
the
back them up
cheerleaders
5.
say, push him back, move him back, all the way back.
Man, I wish we could push them back to where we kicked the field goal.
Hey, I mean, and I was with you on that where you're down 21-0.
It's been
Take a chance. It's the
just
first
the
time
special
you're there.
It's just the special teams have been like such a struggle in this first quarter. You're
Yeah.
kind of like you don't want to take their confidence.
Right,
It's,
but
they'd
you
be like,
also
oh, we
don't-
don't trust you. But it's
You
like,
don't want to build upon what has
Yeah.
been a nightmare start, for lack of a better phrase.
yeah, that's 3 to 4 miscues in this first quarter. It's going to be a handoff here to the left side. It's going to be
Bouncing
open
off.
room. It's going to be another tackle made by Vineland. It'll
Good
be,
save.
I believe, it's 3rd down and goal from about the 4 or 5 yard line for the Crusaders.
And I do wonder if we could kind of reverse time a little bit, do a little Doctor Strange action, if Coach Guzman would go back in time and potentially go for it on 4th down, because then you're looking at, if you do convert, get into the end zone, you're sitting at 21-6, 21-7.
and field position changes in a whole. But it's so easy to Monday morning quarterback, and he'll be
Of
the first
of
one to
course.
tell you. He'll be like, man, I would love to say, but you kind of take it and roll with it. As once again, we're going to see this wing T with a wing
Third
to
and
the
goal.
left.
Chester bounces into the end zone.
Untouched.
For another touchdown, and he has been wildly dynamic on third down. That is where he has produced a ton tonight, has been third down and then down and distance being exorbitant.
Longs,
You know, we saw that 2nd and 15 run that he broke off. He's the one that just put them in field position here. He is, so far in this game, he is a player that is built for the big moment, and he's going to be somebody that I think once this first quarter comes to a close and once we get to halftime and everything, you're going to have to sit down as coaches and really hone in on him being a point of emphasis.
The point of emphasis has really been him and Alkin. I mean, again, in those down and distance situations when it's a longer situation, they're going to go to the big tight end. I mean, it's almost a given. So if you're Vineland, you once again just have to kind of read the situation, read what they're going with. And I think it's more on the players recognizing down and distance and kind of, again, like you said, this is a young group. Yes. I believe you told me yesterday when we were talking about it, it's 44 freshmen
more
on this
than
team.
half the team this year, according to Coach Guzman, are freshmen or underclassmen.
So not only people only look at that from a football aspect, but you also have to look at it as an IQ and mental aspect. Is what are they going to exact? I feel like that's the bigger, I guess, for lack of better terms, mind game.
Yes.
For the young guys is understanding down and distance, understanding situational football that you're going to get from Coach Smith and Ryan Shelton all day. They can beat it into you and tell you, but it's about seeing it in the game, seeing the situations when it comes up over and over again, and making that call. Like, I've seen this before. That kind of football IQ and mental capacity kind of kicks in, and that's what you're going to see as the young players kind of develop as the season goes on. Again, week 1 or week 0, you're going to see those kind of miscues happen, but look for development as the season goes.
And it's one of those things, too, as this ball's about to be kicked off here. We'll see if it's down field, and that it is to a degree, as the pop-up is picked up. And
no blocking from that front line on the return team. It's kind of been happening all game, and once again, just Vineland caught the ball at what I believe was the 26 and somehow end up back at the 25.
I understand it's week 0. It is a stark drop-off in just production from the special teams unit right now, and that has to be mentioned at halftime. If you're Coach Shelton, Coach Garton, and Coach Guzman, you have to address the special teams are a big reason why the score is where it's at, because you haven't had field position. You've had things that have led to turnovers as Calderon looks to pass, fires incomplete. He was kind of rushed there, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
You have to bring up the miscues. I mean, you don't want to blame it on anybody.
Right.
It's a team effort.
It's a learning moment.
But
it's a coaching moment.
The miscues have primarily happened on that end of the football and the special teams. And you know Coach Garton and Coach Shelton are like, we've got to buckle down.
Yeah, and it's a lot of these guys' first ever varsity football action, and this is going to be the growing pains that we're going to see with a primarily underclassmen roster. But you have to be able to improve drive over drive if you want to be successful and kind of learn on the fly to a degree, and you got to get things in motion as Calderon fires this one, and nobody in the vicinity there as a little extracurriculars happen, and a flag should be coming in on the Crusaders there.
Big break for Vineland. I mean, you can tell, again, like we stated earlier, Vineland and Delsea are known for running the football. It's kind of their game. Down 28-0, you know Vineland's going to have to start passing the ball.
Yes.
Which will, once again, prolong this game to no end. But it'll come down to how can they convert, as it's going to be a pass interference call on the Crusaders. But it's going to be how does Vineland convert in passing downs? How do they block up front? How do they force situations where they can be excelled in the passing game? And that's what we're going to see for the remainder of this first quarter, 31 seconds.
Correct.
Which has been the longest first quarter I've personally have been a part of.
It's been
playing, coaching, broadcasting. It's been a rough one for Vineland. It's almost the most nightmarish quarter you could probably have.
Nearly 40 minutes of real time. As a man in motion here, Calderon hands it off to George Figueroa III, and no blocking there for Georgie.
Absolutely blown up by Alkin. Saw on the other side of the ball coming off that DN. He came virtually untouched. as that will be the end of the most nightmarish first quarter that the Fighting Clan could have imagined, as time slowly dwindles down here. I believe a timeout was called.
Yes, timeout
by
was
the
called.
Crusaders.
17.3 seconds.
Man, as if the nightmare doesn't continue. But now time starting to dwindle down on the clock on the far side. And if I'm Vine, I'm letting the clock run out.
Yeah. That will wind up being the final play of the first quarter. We'll take a quick break, but we'll be back for second quarter action here at Gittone Stadium, as at the end of the first quarter, your Fighting Clan trailing 28-0 to the visiting Delsea Crusaders. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Thursday Night Football on VPS. Welcome back, everybody. Started the second quarter, about to get underway here as Elijah Calderon takes the snap, hands it off, and a nice little run there to start.
Still not over.
We muster up close to that 50-yard line to start this second quarter. Kyle Bennett, Marcelino Ojeda here with you on the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's youtube.com/@VLDSchoolsTV. That is where you get every single varsity sports broadcast throughout the 2025-2026 school year and beyond, including every single football game, home and road. Be sure to click that bell icon so you know whenever new videos go live on your device of choice. Again, that's youtube.com/@VLDSchoolsTV, your home for Vineland Athletics. And another penalty for the Fighting Clan on a false start.
You gain 5, you lose 5. That's kind of felt like the feeling of this first half and first
5 yards
quarter.
forward, 5 yards back.
It's what you gain, you lose.
I believe they call that the game of life.
Yes, that is exactly what life is. It's going to be 3rd and long here. 2 receivers set on both sides. Offset running back.
Takes the snap, fakes the handoff, rolls out, and that one's deflected by Van Auken.
That's not bad blocking. I kind of want to see Calderon step up. You
Yeah.
see the tackle kind of washing Auken up the field there. I believe that's Jaffet, who has been a pretty solid so far tonight. He forces him upfield. You want to see Calderon step up in the pocket and give himself time compared to it. Kind of felt like he drifted into the block and threw it right into Auken.
And he kind of pushed off of his back foot rather than his front foot.
He didn't look comfortable.
No.
As
I don't think he was expecting that much traffic in his face either when there's a decent block going on in front of him, blocking the 6'7" Van Auken.
it's a tough task. As it's going to be snapped back. It's going to be just a little low, kicked off here
Good
by
punt.
Brosh. It's a great punt that could give Vineland's defense the best field position they've gotten all day, as they're going to let that baby roll all the way down to the 11-yard line. Great starting field position for the Vineland defense. Now it's time to see what the Crusaders have in the long field.
It's a good punt, good optics to let that roll. And this is where you want to see Vineland's defense that have shown bright spots. They have shown moments of success tonight, being able to stop Delsea's offense. You need 3 straight stops. You can't get complacent after you get 2. You can't get complacent after you get a big stop on first down. You have to be able to get consistent stops here, especially where Delsea's lined up field position-wise, push them back and make it uncomfortable for them and kind of flip the momentum on its head a little bit and give yourself some push and some drive here on defense.
And a stop here from the defense gives you good field position. That's
Right.
That's the biggest takeaway you can kind of get as the wing T offense is set. Wingman to the right. It's going to be handoff to that wingman. It's going to be stuffed there by Barrientos, pushing the pile back and forcing only a gain of 2 yards there on first down.
Second and 8 from the 13, depending on where they spot it.
I believe they're going to stop at that forward progress. And it will be what looks to be 2nd and 8. So far, I mean, just looking at the offensive setup, I feel like every time I call out the wingman, that's where the ball goes.
Yep.
I don't want to, obviously it opens doors for counter and you kind of overcommit to the wingman, but so far it's been heavy bunch run to that side.
Because
throw an
Vineland hasn't
extra
been able to
guard.
stop it.
You just run to the strong side and force your guys to block, and it's worked.
2nd and 8 from the 13. As they hand it off again, and a great stop there.
Beautiful read there.
Had to wait there for a
I
moment.
thought he was going to break off, go the other way, but that's great tackling by the defense there. That one's sniffing out the fake inside run, and as they go to kind of break it to the outside, that's not Delsea's bread and butter.
Right.
I feel like kind of forcing that kind of jet feeling to the outside's not really their game to play, and you see it plain as day there as they lose a couple yards there, forcing a 3rd and long here. This is big if you're the Vineland defense, because this changes field position, and this stops the offense dead in their tracks.
3rd and 12 from the 9.
Once again, that wing T setup. Look for number 11 coming off that right side.
What do you have for us, defenses? This one's handed off, and a good stop there on 3rd down, 3 straight stops.
Defense did exactly what you wanted them to.
That'll bring up what I believe is the first 4th down of the game.
Yes.
Here at about the 9 and a 10-second mark when the play was stopped.
And Mr.
For
Utility
Delsea.
kicking the ball off here, Alkin for Delsea.
He does it all. He's a Swiss Army knife, but at that size, I'm going to tap into my PLL lexicon. He's a Swiss Army machete.
Hey. As this one's about to get booted off, and he's going to squib it off to his right. Spiraling kick there towards the 50. It's going to keep rolling there, and it's going to be untouched. Vineland going to get the ball here in their own side of the field, 41-yard line. Time for the offense to give the defense something after that great defensive stand.
I believe that's their best starting field position by 1 singular yard.
1 yard. That's just on the money, the 41. Again, Vineland, I want to see them open the run game. We saw on the last drive, that first run play getting 5 yards. Again, ultimately getting it back from that offsides, or the false start. But it's time to cut back on the mistakes and start building on what you're good at. They've shown that they can pass the ball. I want to see how they can run the ball here in a shortened field.
I also want to see the connection was there, obviously, on the one pass to Zyleek Travis. I want to see that connection more. Like, that is built-in chemistry right there. Let's see if Calderon can hit him again. He's at the top of the screen. Calderon looking the other way, and that one's incomplete.
Smart pass. It's not where you want it to be, but seeing number 1 of the Crusaders kind of buckle down, you throw that on a rope, that's 6 going the other way.
2nd and 10 now from the 41.
First time tonight we've seen Zyleek Travis by himself on the other side of the field. It was a 3-receiver set, 1 to the opposite. That might be something you want to exploit depending on if they go single high safety.
He's got the speed to do it. He's got the athleticism to do it.
I believe it's a mismatch anywhere he is. I mean, it's all about reading that safety.
Calderon has the accuracy to do it.
It's a 2 safety high here, so it's going to be double coverage on that side here. It's going to be a quick substitution for the Crusaders. 3-receiver set to that right side. Calderon's going to hand it off
to George Figueroa the third, his best run of the night.
Another solid run. Second one that's been
maybe
solid.
5 there. We'll see where they spot it.
Ball carrier brings the ball over to the 45. Will be 3rd down.
Pick up a 4.
3rd down, about 5 yards to go. 41st.
A solid, manageable 3rd down here for Vineland. This is where you can open up the playbook a little bit because the Crusaders, you don't know if they're going to run the ball again. You've seen the success 5 yards per run here, but they can also open the pass game and find someone in the middle of the field. I think this is an opportunity to hit your tight end. I think this is a great opportunity.
I was just going to say,
to get those safeties out wide and see Zincraft in the middle of the field. It's a great opportunity to find it here.
3rd and 5 from the 45. They give Figueroa the third, a 5-yard gain on that last run. They hand it right back to him. He's navigating, and it's snuffed out with ease.
Missed block there by the right guard.
Also not sure if I'm a fan of the 3rd and 5 run play, and that's no slight to George there. He's a very talented, shifty running back. But it's 3rd and 5. You have the tight end. You have the receiver. I would have liked to have seen a pass play there on 3rd and 5 and kind of just keep your offense in a flow.
Now that we know it's 4-down territory, I believe we're going to see the pass here. I think they were playing that 4-down territory, see how many yards they can get on that run there. Kind of got stuffed up, no gain there, but they already went out there knowing, hey, we're going to go for it on 4th down. And I'm not mad at it only because of how the special teams has been so far in this game.
Man in motion here, 4th down. Calderon looking to pass. He fires, and it's incomplete. Travis, the intended receiver.
Just a little low there on that pass. Try to catch him in motion. Coming across the
turnover
field.
on downs.
Like to see Calderon just wait. I understand it's a quick pass concept. Just kind of want to see him wait a little bit and get in that middle of the field. You don't want to throw a hospital pass to a linebacker, but it looked like the linebacker was kind of biting downhill. But Vineland stalls here with their best starting field position of the game, and that's going to be Crusaders' ball in great field position once again. And we've seen them take advantage of it all game. The one time they haven't had good field position, they get stuffed out.
6.5 minutes to go here until halftime.
That wing set up on the right side. Vineland shifting that front to that same side. It's going to be a handoff faked, and it is going to be given to that right side. Good blocking out there, but stopped after a gain of about 3 or 4 yards. Once again, Aiden Barrientos leading that convoy.
That's a great handoff because I think a lot of defenses would have been fooled by that, thinking the quarterback kept it the way that he
You
tucked.
heard me call it. I was fooled myself, and I'm going to have the best view out here.
The way that he tucked just his invisible football there to get the handoff to go. That was a great handoff, but that was also great team tackling defense there by Vineland to stop a guy who's burned you all night and limit him to 4 yards. 2nd and 6 here for Delsea.
A couple substitutions here on that D line. Looks like they're going to bunch up that left side where the T is. It's going to be a handoff inside there to the right side. Stuffed up inside for only a gain of 2. Once again, great tackling up front, and the name we've said all night, Barrientos, right behind it.
He's been very, very dynamic for them, and he's kind of been the Scooby-Doo, if you will, sniffing out the bad guy. That has been Chester because he has been running amok.
He has
all
a nose.
Night long.
It's a nose for the ball that he's shown so far in this game, and he's been, again, leading that charge and convoys into gang tackling. As Vineland's going to go big bunch here on this left side to kind of fend off that Crusaders. That's going to be handoff right inside, and it's going to be a spin move off a tackle. Great move there. It'll be a 1st down for the Crusaders.
Big body barrel in there by Delsea. And
it's a tough spin move on the inside there in short yardage.
And this is where Vineland's defense now, they've been so focused on Chester, Delsea can kind of say, hey, we'll use you as a decoy now this drive and go inside. We'll use some of the other guys here in this wing T formation and kind of throw Vineland off the scent. So then you start focusing on them, and then here's Chester again.
The wing T is such a fast offense, too, because when you really kind of think about how much time you have to make that turn and pop it right to that lead fullback, and to get that much yards off to me, it's like you have to have almost perfect blocking to even get yards on it. And kudos to Delsea for that. It's going to be another handoff inside there, same play.
Yeah, Vineland's got to solidify that middle part of the defense there now. That's kind of where Delsea's going, and you don't want to overcommit to it, but you want to solidify it a lot more because they're just feeding it up the middle of the defense now.
They're attacking the nose guard of Vineland. It's plain as day, and you saw it kind of start over on the other end of the field when it was that worse field position trying to get some kind of yardage. But you're going to see them slowly but surely kind of chip away at that D line. Again, it's a long football game, and if you keep chipping away at them early, it opens opportunities later in the game. You see with 3:45 to go in the second, it's slowly starting to come into fruition.
And this has been a fast quarter compared to that first quarter. 2nd and 5 here for Delsea.
Four-man front here for Vineland. That looks to be
And
a timeout.
with 3:28 to go here
Timeout, Delsea.
until halftime. Timeout, Delsea. You're in the huddle here now, Marcelo. You've been on that sideline with Coach Kuzman on his staff. In a situation like this, you're down 28-0. Delsea's driving. They're approaching the red zone here. What's the message in the huddle as you get set for a 2nd and 4 late in this second quarter before halftime?
I feel like right now this is where you test your team's grit. It's almost not even like you're not going into this huddle saying formation, formation. It's like, yo, you guys got to get your heads down. You guys got to get downhill, and you guys got to make a stop. You know where the ball is going. You know where they're attacking. Back-to-back plays on that fullback run up the middle. It's time to kind of buckle down, kind of crash on that middle part of the field and shut that down. Force them to go outside the tackles or inside on the outside of those guards. Force the ball outside where they have seen less success, but do not let them run the ball down our throats right up the middle of the field. And it comes down to that nose guard.
100%.
Again, Vineland running that four-man front, so they're going to try and fight in between the guards here and find openings.
2nd and 4 for Delsea.
Motion here as the D lineman's moved in where the ball's getting run. And it's a big stuff up front for no gain.
Good
Great
adjustment.
play there.
Good adjustment there.
It was the linebacker, Barrientos, moving his D lineman towards the ball there and kind of crashing that play before it even began. And like I said, those quick handoffs, if they are not blocked well, that play can blow up at any second. And one block or one lineman pushed into your lap blows up that play every time or forces a bounce to the outside. Vineland once again trying to stand tall here in their own territory, 3rd and about 4. We've seen situations like this where they've gone to that waggle play trying to get the tight end out in open space.
3rd and 4 here for Delsea. Ball is handed off and a great stop.
Beautiful tackle. That is textbook, right exactly where you want to be. Great play by the defense. That forces a 4th down. And I believe Crusaders are going to go for it all the way.
Yeah, I mean, you're in enemy territory here. You're already up 28-0. You kind of want to continue to bolster your lead or attempt to. And this is the game within the game with Volpe versus Goose and the way that they know each other. And Volpe's challenging Coach Smith here. You know, they have a relationship obviously as well, being on the same staff. So now it's Volpe kind of throwing the bait, and we'll see what Coach Smith and Coach Shelton are able to do here. As Coach Shelton, it's like a 12th man on the field right now.
If you gave him an opportunity to go out there, he would.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
Chester
handoff to the
bounces
right side.
through, finds his way all the way down to the 5. He's been doing it all night long.
That run inside the wing, outside that tackle, just opens a gaping hole to the sideline, and he took advantage of it, forcing the safeties and the corners to come in and make that tackle.
He is built for the big moment. He has been a special player for Delsea tonight so far.
And unfortunately, as Vineland's defense, you wanted that situation. Again, like we said earlier, you want to shut down the inside run. Don't force them. Force them to go outside where they've been weaker, but that play there, run it right inside that tackle to the right side, and he gets about a modest gain and put him right inside enemy territory inside the 10 at the 5. It's going to be another timeout called by the Crusaders with 1:26 to go here in the second quarter. And Coach Shelton and Coach Smith not happy whatsoever after that 4th down play.
Yeah, I don't blame him. It's been a rough go in all 3 phases, honestly, as this game has progressed. You know, you've had some bright spots here and there during this game, but as a collective, it's a team sport at the end of the day. And as a team, it has been a rough go here in this first half to start the season for the Fighting Clan.
After a nightmarish first quarter, giving up 28 points, you have a minute 27 to go where you haven't given up anything, but your offense also hasn't given anything themselves yet in this game, or hasn't put their kind of stamp on this game, and it's been defensive heavy. And again, in that first quarter, you came and blamed the defense in its entirety because of field position. It's been 3 touchdown drives that have started inside the 30-yard line of Vineland.
It's been a game of field position, and field position will win or lose games for you every single time, no matter what level of football you're playing, whether it's, you know, Pee-wee football all the way up to the NFL.
It's truly the tail of this football game has been field possession. It's going to be handed off inside once again, and that is going to be down for a touchdown. They're going to mark him short. They'll mark him at the half-yard line.
I was going to say his knee looked down at about the 1.
It was close. It was close. He tried to get over that defender at the end, but it's going to be 2nd and goal here at the half-yard line. I can almost imagine what play we're going to see here with that run on the inside.
I'm also noticing green, pink cleats in the Delsea backfield with this wing tee. Cosmo and Wanda, you're not slick.
That's a good one.
You're not slick.
That's a good one. Is that what's giving him the run?
Fairy godparents.
That's what's is that what catapulting this offense?
That's what powers the wing tee is Cosmo and Wanda.
Once again, this wing tee formation, wing to the right.
2nd and goal.
Expecting a handoff inside here. It's going to be a QB sneak all the way, and that's going to be another touchdown for the Crusaders. Tacking on to that 4-touchdown lead, now making it 5 with 36.5 to go here in this first quarter.
I do believe now kicks in the running clock.
I do believe so.
Which, if you're Vineland, not ideal in a game where you want to try to play catch-up going into the second half.
Right. Well, you're forced to pass the ball now,
Right.
and knowing that those incompletions don't stop the clock is going to be brutal in the second half.
As the extra point attempt here, ball snapped, spotted, kick up, and it is good. I thought Vineland was going to sneak in there. They got a good jump and a good look there. But nonetheless, it is now 35-0 Delsea with 36 seconds to go until halftime. And I'll tell you what, Marcelino, I would not want to be
I would not want to be a player in that locker room at all. I mean,
and it's not the coaches coming at them as people. That's what you have to realize.
Right, and that's kind of
player,
gets lost over time.
especially as young players. You have to recognize you
This
may get
attack.
yelled at. This is not yelling at you. It's yelling to get through to you.
Yeah, it's different now as football is, and as the world has evolved. It's not an attack. It's never an attack to, hey, like, yo, you as an individual are doing it. It's as a team collectively, you guys have got to wake up, and you guys have got to play the brand of football that I know they can play, that the coaches see in them. It's about getting that out of the players and being like, we've seen you guys succeed. We know what you guys are good at. We have to build off your strengths that you have yet to show in this game.
So Vineland will get set to potentially return this one with 36.5 seconds to go. Trailing 35-0.
I like Vineland making the adjustment of having an extra man kind of closer up on that left side of the return formation.
Ball is squib kicked. Takes a pop and a bounce to George Figueroa III. Who switches the field, turns upfield, goes past midfield.
Absolute beautiful adjustment by the special teams coach there. It's textbook fundamental fix there. Have the extra man and have one of your speedier guys kind of hit that edge. Get the ball quicker, which opens the field faster for your own guys to block. Beautiful blocking on that edge, and once again, great starting field position for the offense.
28.4 on the official game clock here at the stadium.
50-yard line, 28.4. See what they do here. I'm expecting either a 5-wide or a 4-man with a blocking running back.
Good hustle there by George Figueroa III.
He's been fighting all game.
As Calderon takes the snap, hands this one off.
Omar Davis, his first carry of the game, and that's going to be a modest 4 yards and a timeout by the Fighting Clan.
Timeout line.
Cue that Omar whistle.
I was able to talk with the running backs coach, T.O., and the first thing I asked is, what does the running backfield look like this year? Like, what's kind of the dynamic? There's usually, you always know when it comes to football talk, it's either a 2-man backfield or it's a main guy, kind of a little touches here and there from another guy. He said this team is going to be built off of handing off to both guys. He said there's kind of some nicks and bruises going on for each guy. So Figueroa's been like kind of the main guy so far. But Omar Davis is a big bruiser running back that you're going to see when he gets the ball, he's going to get you those yards in short yardage situations.
And we saw that last year from him where
Yes.
he was kind of just a bully ball type of player where he was able to kind of just bounce through the tackles and use his physical stature to move the ball down the field while running the football.
I think this is a great opportunity here to kind of get a post around the middle of the field.
Calderon
those
looks
safeties
to
are back
pass,
deep.
firing deep. And it's incomplete.
Number 22. Again, Monday morning quarterback play after quarterbacking here, but like I said, that post in between two high safeties, you kind of split them and throw a beam in the middle there. You give yourself time to kind of see that. They're playing too high. You're going to split them every time and get a pass in the middle of the field. I don't feel like the linebackers are dropping back deep enough for this kind of situation.
Maybe I was incorrect about the running clock.
I thought it was 35.
I thought it was too. But clock not running here at the stadium, so.
It's week 0 for us too.
Yeah. It's week 0 for everybody.
It's all the way around.
3rd and 7 upcoming here. 17.3 on the game clock.
It's going to go with that 5 wide look, too high safety. Once again, middle of the field is wide open behind the linebackers.
Calderon takes the snap, looking to pass. Fires, middle of the field. Dangerous pass, and it's intercepted off the deflection. And taking it all the way upfield. And he just made a house call.
This will be a flag on the play there. Mike could be brought back there at the 50-yard line.
That was number 22, Milo Gebhard.
This one's going to come back. I mean, the play, I believe, is still going to stand, but that double coverage there, it's a tough one to try and fit in there. Again, utilizing the middle of the field, I love it. It's just got to be able to read those linebackers, especially with the safeties playing off.
House call, but do. We're sorry. Your call cannot be completed as dialed.
We're going back to the 50. Waiting to see what the call is here.
Hell of a run back by Gebhard, though. You know, to have the vision to get that ball off the deflection, kind of switch the field a little bit from where he was at, middle of the field position-wise.
So as the call there, the interception does stand as called, but it's going to be a holding call on the Crusaders. It's going to put them back at their 40-yard line.
Put the house call on hold there.
I mean, that could have been, like, this game's already at a really rough, like, you're down 35-0, but that would have been a killer to go into the locker room. I mean, I feel like it's already, like, kind of, but that would have been, like, salt on the wound to another level.
And it looks like Delsea's just going to kneel this one out to go into the locker room, up 35-0 here at halftime. And the horn sounds. Both teams will head to their respective locker rooms. And Marcelino, not an ideal first half to kick off the 2025 campaign here for the Fighting Clan as they trail 35-0 here against the visiting Delsea Crusaders. A lot to clean up at halftime. We'll see the adjustments that Vineland will be able to make here on the fly. Some positives, but a lot of things to fix.
It's very nightmarish, like we said. We've been saying that phrase all night. This could be worst case scenario to start. Again, the special teams miscues absolutely kick you in the hind parts to put them in great field position. We've been saying it all night. Field position has been the killer for Vineland and the absolute knight in shining armor for the Crusaders. And we've seen long field situations, they don't really have it. But in short field, they're just going to run the ball, get those short yards, and get first down. Vineland really has to kind of find themselves in the locker room, give themselves some time to kind of regroup, get some water in their system to come out here with a different mentality because they're down, and they're down big.
Yeah, don't go anywhere. We will take a break here for halftime, but stick around. We'll be back for the start of the third quarter and, of course, through the entire second half here from historic Gittone Stadium. As your Fighting Clan trail 35-0 to the visiting Delsea Crusaders. Marcelino Ojeda, Kyle Bennett here on the call with you. Stick around. We'll be back for the start of the second half.
White. J.L. White.
And welcome back, everybody. Halftime is over. We're getting start for the start of the third quarter. Vineland will be kicking it to Delsea as they trail in this one 35-0 due to the Fighting Clan. Kyle Bennett, Marcelino Ojeda here with you. And Marcelino, as we head into this second half, what do you want to see adjustment-wise that you can only do so much at halftime as this ball is nearly onside kick, but Delsea comes up with his kick right into the arms, and they'll start near midfield. What are some of the things that, it's so difficult to make adjustments at halftime in any sport? There's very little things that you can do on the fly, but what are some things you want to see from Vineland coming out of halftime, coming out of a meeting in the locker room, and coming out with a different lease on this game as much as they possibly can?
I mean, I was going to say field position, and just like that, I'm telling you, the first thing on the top of my head was
we didn't speak
creating
soon enough.
Field position opportunities. And, I mean, I get the onside idea there of trying to get the ball back as Delsea once again sets up in this wing T defense, just crying downhill. That's going to be encroachment, not called. That's going to be stuffed in the backfield.
Finally got away with one there.
Yeah, definitely got away. They're going to stop forward progress at the line of scrimmage, so it'll be no gain. But the big takeaway is how can you give yourself opportunities to be in good field position? What can you do offensively and defensively to set your offense up or set your defense up in a much longer yardage situation, force Delsea to play football? Mm-hmm. I mean, if you really think about it, these drives have been 4 or 5 plays. That's unrealistic. It's not football-esque. You need to force them into situations where they have longer drives. This is an opportunity to do so. It's a shortened field still nonetheless. So once again, they set up again here on the opposite side of the 50. It's going to be inside handoff, and that's going to be absolutely blown up there by the nose guard. But it's going to be a gain of 2 here. And it's going to be a 3rd and long here for the Crusaders. Early adversity for this offense here in the second half.
Ball spotted at 50. It's a 3rd down. 3rd about 8 yards to go. Ball spotted getting ready for the field.
Vineland sticking with that defensive front they had in the first half, who's shown success against the wing T, just trying to find ways to get the linebackers to crash down and kind of get that second level downhill on running opportunities. But once again, expect the Crusaders here to look to pass and look for that number 11. The 2 receiver set out wide there is a little different from what we've seen tonight. It's going to be a motion. It's going to be a handoff to that left side. It's going to be quarterback keeping it. He's going to run the outside. And he's going to be run out of bounds at that first down marker, and it's going to be called first down for the Crusaders. It was that fake inside handoff, rush to the outside, quarterback sneak, jet. Caught Vineland napping on the outside, good blocking. That's going to be a first down for the Crusaders here. And the first big opportunity here in Vineland territory. Once again, we saw early on in those kind of tough situations how Crusaders go to their big number 11, but so far they've really just gone to the running back and quarterback. So we snap here, hand off to that inside. It's going to be a good move on the inside. Stuffed there, great tackling as the rest of the Fighting Clan kind of tween in to finish there. It was a good stand-up tackle there for the Fighting Clan. So it looks to be like there's a player down here, and we're going to get a stoppage in play.
Timeout for injury.
Number 5 of the Fighting Clan, Zyleek Travis, who's been the star of the game early on offense. And that would be a very detrimental blow here for the Fighting Clan on both sides of the ball. Coach Shelton kind of walking away, not exactly too happy as him and Coach Smith have to make some substitutions. As you hear the ever so lovely city sounds in the background here at Gittone Stadium as Travis is able to get back up on his feet.
And hopefully he's okay, but from a football perspective, obviously, that's a huge blow. It's one of your most talented players who's been just chomping at the bit to get onto the field today. He's been playing in all 3 phases as well, as he's kind of hesitant to put a little bit of weight on that right foot.
Just gingerly coming off the field here. But like we said, that's a big blow. I mean, this is a defense that's kind of been in tough situations, and you kind of have that senior leadership and those star players helping you make plays. And losing someone of his nature is a big hit.
And first and foremost, football will always be there. Hopefully, just health-wise, he's okay.
That play is going to be run out to the right side there, hoping, like you say, Zyleek's okay. We always want to make sure the person is always okay before the player.
There's a flag down. Holding on Delsea, so that one will be coming on back.
It's a good break for the defense there, too. Finally catch something there, as they did get that run to the outside, which we don't see too often.
Not the ideal start tonight either, but I do want to give kudos to the cheerleaders for being here before school started and the marching band being here before school started. Always, it has been a culmination of effort, and I always say, whatever night lights it is, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's a triangle. You want the product on the field to obviously be the reason you're here, but the support from the cheerleaders, the support from your marching band, it's a whole ecosystem that just breeds what high school football is all about, and a credit to our cheer team and to our marching band.
It's going to be a handoff inside, a broken tackle. Another flag down those. I believe that's going to be another holding on the Crusaders here. It's that counter play that's worked so far in the last couple plays. But it's been 2 holdings that's negated each successful play of the Crusaders here. Kind of shooting themselves in the foot, playing Vineland first half-esque football now. as they once again are backing up into their own territory play after play. It'll be second down here from the Crusaders, 49. And it's about second and a country mile.
Still second down.
Second and 19 here for the Crusaders. Once again, at their 49-yard line on that wing T offense, there's going to be a timeout called here, and the Crusaders kind of miscuing here at the beginning of the second half, KB.
And I mean, that's what you want to see if you're Vineland and kind of seeing Delsea a little out of sorts and trying to figure out anything possible on all phases of this game and trying to, level the ships just a little bit. And if you can get Delsea off their game here right now when they've been rolling for a majority of it, that's something you will take every single time you possibly can.
It's an opportunity if you're Vineland. Once again, you kind of get some breathing room, kind of get some time to like regroup and rebear yourself here, get your bearings. But Vineland has to take advantage. Again, this is second and 19, second and 18 at their own 49. You force a punt here, obviously your offense is going to be in great field position, but the more you back them up, the more chance you give your offense or your even return man to kind of get something open in the second half. And this is kind of that possession for Vineland's defense to do it and possibly create a turnover.
Things you would love to see, especially, kind of rally for a teammate who's out injured right now, gain a little positive momentum, and maybe you don't come back to win this game. There's still a lot of game left, obviously, but you want to get as much positivity out of this after a very, very bad start in the first half. Flip the second half on its head and build from something here so that way going into next week you have some positive to take away and you learn and grow from the negatives. That's another good stop there by the Vineland defense.
1 yard gain there on second down. Once again, that D-line front kind of buckling down. But like you said, you got to find ways to win in a loss. I feel like it's not talked about enough in football. There's going to be days where you win. There's going to be days where you lose. But you have to find your wins in your losses and slowly build up those wins, those good moments, and turn them into wins. So now all you're talking about is how you're winning, and now you got to find ways to cut back on what can create losses in your winning. It's just it's a mental game. You got to find that even ground, and in a game like this, you got to find a way to find the up ground, as that's going to be handoff inside.
Chester and another flag.
This could be another holding call
and
here.
Another
flag flies in here, and
you get a flag, and you get a flag, and you get a flag.
It's two different flags, and I believe both of them are on the Crusaders. I believe one's holding, and one might be unsportsmanlike.
There was a bit of, not like anything crazy
Nothing
extracurriculars,
extra,
but
enough.
A little bit of elongated, just laying on top of another player after the play was kind of blown dead there.
Interesting to see what the call is see some of the stripes pointing towards Vineland side.
For what? Come on, boys. Come on.
Now I wait for the call from the white hat.
Holding on Delsea.
And a personal foul on the defense. Both penalties are offset, and we're going to redo third down. Not sure. I thought he was going to call targeting, which is, if for some of you at home who don't know, targeting is the kind of the worst penalty you can get in high school or college level, because that kind of results in missing time as well as being ejected from the game. But it looks like it was just unsportsmanlike on the defense. It would have been nice to kind of lose that yardage on the offense, but call goes for both teams, and it kind of negates the entirety of that play, and it's still third and long. One receiver set to the top of the screen. Be a man in motion to that left side. It's going to be a handoff, a faked handoff, thrown in the middle of the field. It's finding Chester. My goodness, if he's not running it, he's catching it.
He's been spectacular.
He's been everywhere. It's almost like, I hate throwing this name around because to us this was like a big name, but a Jada Byers-esque, where he's kind of everywhere. Wore the number 2, just kind of everywhere on the field. For those who don't know, Jada Byers played for St. Joe's. He was a fantastic athlete, went to the collegiate level. But in his times at St. Joe's, he was everywhere. And it's kind of that kind of, and I believe at the college level, he was just as spectacular. That's going to be fourth and short here, fourth and about 7 yards to go. It's be a motion to the left here, going hard count, trying to catch Vine to go off sides. And the second timeout here burnt for the Crusaders. Don't want to sit here and say it's the end-all, be-all, up 35-0, but that's 2 quick timeouts wasted.
Yeah, Jada ended up playing in the UFL last season for the Memphis Showboats.
Oh.
I've known Jada a long time. Have some close connections with a lot of his family. Amazing athlete, but also an amazing human being.
Always heard nothing but good stuff about him.
Just wish he came to Vineland.
He wanted to be with St. Joe's. He wanted to be a Wildcat.
But yeah, I mean, Chester tonight has been wildly impressive
Just
especially for a
everywhere.
week 0 game. You know, your first action at the varsity level this season. He's come out and looked like he's in mid-season form.
He's starting the season off strong. I mean, the numbers he's going to pull from this game are going to be pretty existential when it comes to seeing the box score at the end of this game.
And, you know, to kind of ring home a little bit, he's got a lot of the shiftiness that Vineland fans saw for the past couple of seasons from Charles Clark.
Yep.
It reminds me a lot of that. When he's got the ball in his hands, he's moving. His
Gonna
legs
make a play.
don't stop moving just like Charles, and it's very impressive to watch.
It's going to be a fake handoff rolling out to the right, trying to find the tight end. Dumps it off short, and he misses his man, and that is a first down. Bread and butter if he completes that pass. Just tried to sneak it over the defender. Good pressure there by the Fighting Clan, and a big stop. Now Vineland creating opportunity to get the ball here and kind of create some offense.
First incompletion of the night for Delsea.
I believe so. That is out of the 3
Don't-
passes, the Army-esque offensive throwing.
Don't fact check us, but I'm 99.9% sure that's the first incomplete pass.
That's very Army-Navy kind of feel. But
Mm-hmm.
now Vineland here with the ball in their own territory, their very own 36-yard line. So we snap back to Calderon. He's going to drop back, looking for the screen here. Gets it and just overthrows. Had a good amount of green grass there, Figueroa did, but that defense kind of crashing down. And when you have a 6'7" defensive end barreling down on you, it's kind of hard to complete that pass and not throw high. 2nd and 10 here for the Fighting Clan. And the clock is running, KB. So it was the
We were
35-point
correct.
threshold. The clock has continued to run even though it was an incompletion due to the score. Kind of checking in on the players on the sideline. It looks like Travis may be out of this game. Kind of working on that right knee. Looking to see if we can get an update on him at the end of this game.
And I think in a game like this, you leave him out simply because you don't want him to
Is that pass incomplete?
re-aggravate or worsen whatever injury he's dealing with right now. And I think Trainer Dave knows that. Trainer Darrow would know that as well.
Yeah.
You leave him out of a game like this. It's not like it's, 21-14 late in
It's
the
not
fourth
a close,
quarter.
Yeah, it's not like a detrimental, like, yo, we got to have you out there.
And even then, he's a high school athlete. You don't want to risk a player of any caliber, but especially right now of Zalik's caliber, where high school athletes, they're still growing bodies. You don't want to mess with anything there from an injury perspective.
And again, in this situation, you just kind of want to let it ride.
Right, and it emphasizes it that much more.
So it'll be a 2-receiver set here on both sides for Vineland. Offset running back to the left here. Calderon's going to look to his left. He's rolling. He has a man on his back, and he's going to get brought down for a big loss. A sack on the play. First sack of the season for the Crusaders. And that'll bring up 4th down here for the Fighting Clan.
First sack of the night for Delsea, but that has been that kind of play has been brewing all night for the Crusader defense. Calderon's blind side has been left far more open than you want it to be for a starting quarterback. That is definitely something that's going to be going to have to get cleaned up on the offensive line, is protecting his blind side, because that truly can alter a game as well. As much as field position can alter a game, when you're on offense and your quarterback's blind side is not picked up, that is detrimental to your offense.
Solid snap, getting some pressure, and he gets it off.
He was hit, and that's going to be a flag. Roughing the kicker is going to be the call.
And that might give Vineland the first down that they need, or at least a manageable 4th down. That sack was a big loss. We will see what the call is. Like I do, we both believe it is roughing.
I think it was roughing, not running into, because the hands were put out. if I were in the stripes, I would say that's
a
a roughing the
solid
kicker.
call. So we await the call here from the white hat. Did he pick up the flag?
I think he made the call. I just don't think it was as pronounced. Yeah, they're moving the ball up.
So if it is going to be roughing the kicker, that'll make it a very manageable 4th down here for the Fighting Clan.
Yep, they called
It'll
roughing
give them the
kicker.
first down.
Yep.
It'll be automatic first down. Vineland will get the ball at their 41-yard line.
Because
For the second chance at life.
the difference there for everyone at home, roughing the kicker is the bigger penalty than running into the kicker. Roughing will give you the 15 yards, and more often than not, an automatic first down.
Another similar formation here for the Fighting Clan. Cataron's going to drop back, throw to his right, and that's going to go right through the hands of the receiver.
Late reaction there by 22 for Vineland. If he knew the ball was coming to him
It's a catch.
probably
he's making.
2 seconds prior, he is more aware and makes that catch.
And as a coach, you always say, if it touches your hands, you got to bring it.
Yes.
Unfortunately, that's just the rule of thumb, and in that situation, a much-needed completion nonetheless. But it'll bring up 2nd and 10 with 3 minutes and counting here in this 3rd quarter for the Fighting Clan. Still 35-0 Crusaders, the number 22 ranked Crusaders, who have come all the way to Gittone and imposed their will as much as possible. Same formation here for the Fighting Clan. Figueroa to the right of Calderon. That is going to be a neutral zone infraction on the defense, and that will gift Vineland an extra 5 yards. So it'll be 2nd and 5 here. Vineland slowly but surely inching towards midfield. Man in motion, snap back to Calderon. He's looking to his right. He cocks back, throws to his right, throws it downfield, has an open man, completes the pass, but he dropped it. He had the receiver in stride, found him behind the cornerback, and it goes right through the hands of Figueroa, who came out of the backfield and is coming up limping.
Also far from ideal.
Grabbing at that calf, might be getting some of those
August
Charlie
cramps.
horses. Yep.
Gotta stay hydrated, boys. Gotta stay hydrated. I remember a couple years ago, might have been Coach Russo's last season as the head coach, copious amounts of cramping, quote-unquote injuries.
It's the worst feeling, especially in the middle of the game. But Figueroa is going to stay in there and
we
line
call
up to the left there.
Grit. We're going to call him Grit Figueroa the third.
So it'll be 5 receivers set, 3 to the right of Calderon. He's looking right. He's going to throw right. Throws it underneath. Almost
What a
picked off.
read. What a read by number 1.
Beautiful play there. And that will bring up 3rd down and 5. Fighting Clan just trying to get past midfield at this point. The opposing 49-yard line would be a first down as Figueroa is going to limp towards the sideline. As a couple offensive substitutions are made. It'll be 4th down and 5 here for the Fighting Clan. Got to get to that 49-yard line on the opposite side of the 50.
Honestly, just want to see the offense put the ball in the end zone.
Fighting Clan looking for some glimmers of hope here. Man goes in motion is Alvarado. It's going to be snapped back. He's looking to his right. Calderon finds the middle of the field. Completion.
Nice catch.
And a great play there by the senior, Ben Motter. His first catch of the game and a big one here in the 3rd quarter.
Nice catch. Motter also on absolute demon time, wearing a hoodie in the month of August.
Snap back to Calderon. He's looking back to his right. He's going to roll that way. He's got a pocket. He's going to throw downfield. Has a man down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. Tried to find the back shoulder there as time dwindles down here in this 3rd quarter. Fighting Clan trying to get down the field and trying to put some points on the board here as they work towards the 4th quarter and work towards the end zone. KB, what are you looking for from the offense here going into this 4th quarter? Try and muster up some kind of some kind of offense here to finish the game out.
You have nothing to lose here. I mean, obviously you're losing the game, but in terms of just, you know, punctuality and execution of your game plan, I think you just have to play loose, play free going into this fourth quarter. You know, you're down 5 scores. It's going to be difficult to come back from that, due in part to the way Delsea's offense has been able to move the ball all night. And on top of that, your offense, up until right now, hasn't really had a lot of momentum moving the football. So score on this drive, see what you do in terms of scoring on this drive, and then just play loose the rest of the game. Kind of just play your game, figure some things out, learn on the fly, and
see what works.
Play football.
Yeah, play football and just see what works. Go out there and see kind of what works for you in this last couple drives. It's going to be a man in motion. Calderon's going to drop back, look again to his right. He's going to throw it downfield. Has Ben Motter just out of his stretch. Just out of the outstretched arms there. As there's going to be an injury in the secondary, and I believe that's Chester.
That's not great for Delsea, obviously.
And the helmet comes off relatively quick. That does not look good.
It is Chester.
Garbage time minutes here in this fourth quarter. Chester goes down, and that's a big hit if that's anything serious for the Crusaders. Looks like TD's kind of stretching out that left ankle, left calf. Of Chester. He was kind of shooting towards that side of the field. He was coming across as a deep safety and kind of like limped up and kind of caught himself and went to the ground in a heap, which is never good if you're a coach. As the second trainer is slowly working towards the field, they're going to send her back.
Well, we have a break in the action since our last football broadcast. Do want to congratulate former Vineland football players as Chester gets up and is heading towards the sideline. Good to see him back up under his own power. Do want to congratulate Vineland alumni Jamil Demby and Isaiah Pacheco, as well as Vineland tennis star Tess Fisher, as all 3 of them this past spring were inducted into the Vineland Athletic Hall of Fame. 3 outstanding athletes that I had the pleasure of covering their careers in a multitude of ways, and just truly, truly special athletes, special people, and very, very awesome to see those 3 inducted into the Vineland Athletic Hall of Fame and receive that honor, because all 3 are wildly deserving.
Tess Fisher was a superstar when I was in school, so it's always cool hearing her name again. As Vineland's going to line up here 5 wide. Clock begins to run. 3 men to the left of Calderon. He's going to take the snap. He's going to look to his right. He's going to roll that way. Has some pressure. He's going to step up. And he's going to try and get some yardage here as he's walloped from the backside, but pops right back up. And that's going to be first down for the Fighting Clan. Some toughness and grit from the quarterback here as Vaughn's offense looks to go quick. Snap back to Calderon. He's looking back to his left once again. He's going to look in the middle of the field. He's going to break outside. Has nothing but green grass, and he's going to take off. Nobody in a 10-yard radius as he's going to get another first down with his feet. Back-to-back solid runs here for the Vineland offense by way of the quarterback. And Vineland in their red zone for the 2nd time today. Once again, sticking with that up-tempo offense. 5 wide, 3 receiver set to the far side of the field. Calderon's going to drop back, look to his right. He's going to throw it short, and he's going to complete it. And Calderon slowly catching a feel here for this game, as that's going to be a 5 to 6 yard completion there
what did I tell you earlier, Marcelino? He has the capability to run the ball and
Yeah,
extend a play, extend a drive. Let's see it some more as Calderon fires incomplete.
Tried to find that middle of the field there with a linebacker breathing down the neck of the receiver. But you kind of see some bright spots like we said we're looking for here in this second half. And Calderon so far on this drive has looked sharp. Kind of catching a feel, kind of catching a groove here in the passing game and on the ground. 9:53 and counting on the far scoreboard in the corner. Fighting Clan trying to put some kind of points on the board after being in a deep run in the first half. 28 points scored by the Crusaders in the first quarter. 7 scored in the second, but since then, neither team has been able to put any points on the board, but Vineland right now slowly sounding the red alert alarm in this far end of the field. 3 receivers set to that left side. Calderon trying to get somebody to jump off sides here. But it's going to be a timeout by the Crusaders who are looking to bring a blitz in the middle of the field. And that'll be their last timeout of the half.
That was something that stood out to me throughout this game. Coach Volpe, not afraid to use his timeouts.
I mean, in the first half, I kind of want to say that, but at the same time, being up 35-0, I mean, how much you really look, unless...
Granted, he did use that one at the end of the first quarter with
Correct.
17 seconds left, Coach Volpe.
So Vineland, unless Vineland comes
let
back.
that one run out
Yeah,
a little
he
bit.
wants
Come
something.
on.
But unless Vineland, kind of pulls together some of the quickest drives we've ever seen and score 5 touchdowns here, he's kind of just like, I have the timeouts. I'm going to use them. At the same time, I'm not sure what they're for, probably formation issues. But if you're not expecting any formation issues for the next 9:24 in this game, then, no timeouts for us game. He's going to sleep on that and not have an issue. Once again here at Gittone Stadium, partner Kyle KB, Bennett, Marcelino Ojeda.
Isn't it great being here, Marcelino?
It's the breeze is the
Like-
best. My favorite part so far of the game has been just the beautiful breeze, the solid atmosphere. It's Thursday night football.
You feel the history when you walk in through the gates of Gittone Stadium, too. It is truly the best venue in South Jersey.
Calderon has 3 receivers to his left, 1 to his right. He's going to look to his left. He's going to step off his back foot, throw towards the end zone.
Right idea.
And throws it at the goal line. Throwing off his back foot, not exactly what you want him to be doing, but you can tell he's kind of making those decisions in real time.
You need that receiver to make that break 3 seconds sooner. He kind of carried that curl route a little too upward, upfield rather than cutting. If he cuts sooner, he's probably by his defenders, and he's there to make that catch.
Vineland now in danger of squandering their best drive of the game, 4th and 4 here. Obviously 4 down territory, as we've known this game to be down the stretch. Be Vineland at, looks to be their 13-yard line. The 2 receivers set to each side. Man in motion is Ben Motter. Snaps go back to Calderon. He's going to look to his right. He's going to throw to his right. Has a receiver.
Oof.
He was not looking. Almost threw an interception. And the best drive of the day for the Fighting Clan stalls in their own red zone.
It's twice now that drives have come to a close when they're in the red zone. Obviously, the one we had the blocked field goal. This time now turnover on downs. It just has not been Vineland's night in nearly every facet of the game.
It's been one of the rougher Vineland games we've seen in a little bit. Not to, blow it out of the water or anything. It's just been a rough one. Week 0, obviously.
And it's a young team, like we said at the top of the
it's
broadcast.
going to be a little bit.
This is a young football team. It is going to take time for things to click, not only on the field, but mentally for them. Playing at the varsity level, you played at the varsity level, Marcelino. The playbook that you're getting from Coach Smith, Coach Guzman has talked about when he has recruits coming in from colleges and they ask, what are you running? They're like, you're running that? You're running this?
It's advanced. It's definitely a much more advanced defensive scheme and offensive. But if we're just dialing in on what we're looking at defensively, it's a very advanced. It's college-level scheme, borderline pro-level scheming.
With NFL sprinkled in.
Exactly.
Just from experience alone.
So as a young player, especially on this defensive side of the ball, you're going to see an IQ and mental aptitude that just takes a massive leap. And we've seen transition to the college level because they're being exposed to this from someone as experienced as Coach Smith. Be the Crusaders here, 2nd and 10 with a man out wide. It's going to be a handoff to the right side. It's Chester. He's going to get right past the tackle. And that looks to be just short of first down yardage, but not by much. It'll be 3rd down and about 1 here for the Crusaders, who I believe will be going for it on 4th down as well.
Ball spot at 22. 3rd down. About to go for the first.
So that same front here for the Fighting Clan. 5 down linemen. 2 men off the edge. It's going to be a QB sneak right up the middle, and he's still up. He rolled over his center. The quarterback rolls over his center, does not go down, and gets first down yardage and more. As a Vineland and Delsea player are slow to get up. It is a Vineland player that remains down.
Timeout report for injury.
I believe that's Zyleek Travis.
I will once again ask why you bring him back into this game.
I don't want to say it is and be wrong. It could be Benjamin Motter as well. I believe it is Motter. I do see Travis on the sideline.
Yeah, Travis is down here.
Not sure who is down. It could either be Motter.
It's also week 0 for us. New jersey numbers,
Trying to
different
get it all
jerseys.
down.
Whenever Vineland wears their black uniforms,
It's
it's a
always a
different
mix-up.
number a lot of the time.
It's always a mix-up, and we apologize.
We'll be
for
good
that.
next week.
We'll get it down pat when we wear our whites. But there's another player down for the Fighting Clan. It's about their 3rd one today, unfortunately.
And that's the thing, too. In a game like this,
And it is Ben Motter who was down, who's limping and getting back up, the senior.
in a game like this, you want to attempt to come out of it as uninjured as possible.
Especially in a game like this. You want to get
Right.
out as unscathed as possible going into week 2 or week 1.
Game 2.
Game 2, I never liked the concept of week 0. I'm sorry. I get
I
it.
agree.
I'm just not a big fan of week 0.
0 for what?
But nonetheless, it'll be the Crusaders once again on offense, 1st and 10 after the run by their quarterback. Looks to be a quarterback change, number 13 at quarterback for Delsea. It's going to be a handoff to the right side, trying to get outside. Makes a good move, but it's going to be stuffed by 3 Vineland defenders. Looks like it'll be a loss of about 2 to 3 yards there. But forward progress will give them no gain. Be 2nd and 10.
And just a reminder for everybody watching at home, too, each and every week throughout the season, you can tune into Guzman's Gridiron, the official Vineland High School football coaches show and podcast, presented by the Red and Gray Gridiron Group and Underground Sports Philadelphia, hosted by yours truly and Coach Guzman each and every week. This year, we're going to be bringing in some of the other coaches as well, some other new elements brought to the show this year. You can tune in each and every week on your podcast app of choice or on the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel if you choose to watch the show. But join us for Guzman's Gridiron every single week throughout the season on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network.
Another run stop there by the Vineland defense, who are just trying to get some stops here in garbage time. 4:27 and counting. With Delsea up 35-0, just looking to run that clock as much as possible. As Vineland has the opportunity to get one more possession, but may not do much as this game slowly dwindles away here at Gittone Stadium. Beautiful night, nonetheless. The football can go either way, but another beautiful night here at Gittone Stadium. Like you said, love being here. Always have and always will.
It's truly the best stadium.
I believe so.
Like, in a high school sports aspect, like, it gives you like, it's right smack dab in the middle of the neighborhood. Like, it is old school soccer stadium vibes in Europe. Like, and I mean, just look at the facility. Like, this place is immaculate. You feel the history. Like, You talk about the old school stadiums, the Lambeau Fields, the old Yankee Stadium, Fenway, like all of those historic type stadiums. Gittone Stadium has that feel. It's been around since the 1920s. Like,
Man.
we are approaching this bad boy being in that century mark.
That's got to be a big celebration. I have to assume it would be a big celebration as the Crusaders line up to punt here. 4th and about 12. Snap back. Off the boot and into the middle field. Another spiraling kick. And it's going to be fumbled off the fingertips by the return man. Gets past 2, and he's breaking to the sideline. Has a man to beat. He's going to stiff arm him and take his helmet with him. Absolute muscle towards the sideline. Taking a face mask and a helmet for a ride here. Close to the 50-yard line. It'll be marked out about the 45. Tough running there by the return man of the Fighting Clan.
If I was number 6, I'd be pretty angry if I got stiff-armed like that, too. That is a grown man stiff-arm.
That's a mean stiff-arm.
You stiff-armed his helmet off of his head. That is, and you did it the right way. You didn't grab his face mask. It didn't get, out of pocket. That's just good, clean, using your body within the rules of the game. That is a grown stiff-arm right there.
His chin strap will be tighter come next week. 35-0 to score here. Vineland at their own 45-yard line. 2 receivers set on both sides. Calderon's going to look to his left. He's going to throw that way. Looks for the underneath route. It's going to be Figueroa. Makes a great move on the corner and puts his shoulder into a corner. My goodness. Figueroa going downhill. Makes a great move on the catch and just puts a corner in the turf. 2 very physical plays by the Fighting Clan here. The same formation here, 2 receivers set. Figueroa on the right side of Calderon, looking to his left once again, has pressure in his face, throws it underneath, incomplete. He had 2 Crusaders barreling down in his face there. Looks to be another Fighting Clan player being stretched out by a Crusader. Amazing sportsmanship there. It is Ben Motter once again cramping up, I believe, and he will be heading to the sideline.
Got to get Ben Motter some water.
It's been a war of attrition for the Fighting Clan.
And I get, a lot of these players that they have the athlete gene in them. You and I both had it, playing sports in high school, and I did a little bit beyond high school as well. You always want to compete. You always want to be out there. But sometimes you also have to remind yourself, hey, it's late in this one. I'm not feeling 100%. Let one of my teammates go out there and fill in while I try to recoup as much as I can. And honestly, you're down 35-0 with less than 90 seconds to go.
I appreciate the effort.
Right.
Don't beat yourself in the ground for not.
You don't want it to extend to being something that lingers all year long just because you want to put yourself back out there in a 35-0 game.
And Travis once again limping off the field. It's time to call it. I think it's fair to say 125 and counting. This game's obviously over. His Vineland's just trying to get something positive to walk out of this game as Calderon steps up in the pocket. And he's going to take off to his right. Has a man in transit trailing. Horse collar on the near side, and the flag will be thrown. That will add an extra 15 yards to an already 20-yard gain. Calderon on his feet has been really sharp. Now that he's done it, remember earlier we said stepping up in the pocket.
And that's something you want to see here late in this game carry over to next week. You want to see those types of positives and be like, okay, I can do this. I'm capable of it. I'm comfortable now. You want to see that carry over to next week, and we'll be right back here at Gittone Stadium next week as well on September 5th against ACIT. Nice little home stretch here to start the season for the Fighting Clan. Where the past couple of years we've been road warriors.
For the beginning of the season,
4 straight at home here for Vineland, but next week against ACIT here at home as that one's tipped.
Oh, and he tipped a touchdown. And wide open in the middle of the field is a beautiful look. He tipped a touchdown, and Figueroa knows it.
But yes, like we mentioned, next week, ACIT coming to town. Last year we went down to Brigantine to face them on a quote-unquote neutral field. So we'll get ACIT here at home next week on September 5th. First game of the year during the school year, as that one is intercepted in the end zone, and that's going to put a cherry on top of this SpongeBob-esque Sunday that we saw tonight from the Fighting Clan. Not ideal, obviously, as the clock ticks down to 0, and that will do it. Delsea wins this one 35-0 over your Fighting Clan here at Gittone Stadium in a Week 0 blowout. Not what you wanted to see from the offense, not what you wanted to see from the special teams, not what you wanted to see in a lot of ways from the defense either. A lot to grow and build upon, Marcelino. A quick turnaround. You know, obviously you want to kind of throw a lot of this game away and put it in the rear view. What does Vineland have to do to bounce back from a game like this next week and kind of just throw this one out the window? There's minimal positives to take away, but there's a lot of corrections that need to be made going into next week's game.
I think this one is one not to take personally. I mean, you start a game first quarter, 40-minute first quarter, and you're down 28-0. That sets the tone for the game. I mean, there's no better way of putting it. That first quarter was atrocious. I mean, special teams really cost this team on 3 separate occasions, creating 3 scoring opportunities. I mean, that first quarter was as nightmarish as it gets. The defense buckled down for the rest of the game. Kudos to them. But the offense has to find what worked. Again, Calderon on the feet, kind of getting downfield and running the football showed a lot of promise. And a lot of times early in this game, we kind of wanted him to do that. So now you kind of see him get comfortable doing that. It's gonna be nice to see against a not as strong opponent in ACIT next week. But like you said, a lot of things to build off of. The special teams kind of have to kind of get their grip, kind of understand like what needs to be fixed and what can be changed. But other than that, I mean, defense was, I think, the best portion of the ball tonight. They showed a lot of grit, and it was tough again in that first quarter, being in their own territory for 4 to 5 straight possessions. But they buckled down the stretch. But it's about Vineland's offense kind of kicking into gear, and Vineland not shooting themselves in the foot. This was more Vineland beating themselves than Delsea beating Vineland. I don't want to take away from the Crusaders, who came out and played good ball. They took advantage of opportunities as they should, and good teams do that. So I don't want to take away from the Crusaders in any aspect. They did what they had to do to win. But Vineland taking away those opportunities, I would like to see how this game would have panned out. Kind of want to see what Vineland does next week and kind of minimizes that.
Kudos to Coach Volpe and the Delsea Crusaders, a 35-0 win here over our Vineland Fighting Clan. Be sure to subscribe to the Vineland Public Schools YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any future broadcasts, including next week's matchup on September 5th here at Gittone Stadium against ACIT. For Marcelino Ojeda, I'm Kyle Bennett. Thank you to everybody for tuning in tonight. We will see you next week here at Gittone Stadium. And as always, go Vineland.